if they were connected, if they were related, it should have happened earlier. Again, I'm not a doctor, but you know what? I happen to know one who calls this show on a regular basis, who I consider a pal, a friend. Dr. Sabah is with us on line 2, who again has, according to what she said, and probably will confirm here, had multiple surgeries performed with Dr. Williams Myers, the world-renowned expert in core muscle injuries that was cited by Ian Rappaport that evaluated Terry McLaurin. Is that accurate, Doc? Did I hear that right?
Hey there, Chris. I was trying not to call in anymore because I'm getting hate on Twitter for, I guess, me saying that, Jaden didn't look like himself, and maybe it would be nice to kind of give him a rest while he's, quote, injured.
We can talk about that another day.
Yes, exactly. But since we're talking about the Terry McLaurin, so basically, we always called him, we called him Dr. Myers, but most people call him Bill Myers, and it's not Williams Myers, it's William.
Oh, okay. He wrote it Williams Myers. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, when I was in residency at UMass, during my surgical residency, he showed up from Duke, big wig, hepatobiliary guys is mostly what he is, but he got this sports hernias. And so, as me being one of the residents, I would operate with him because he was the chair of the Department of Surgery. So as I got higher up in the ranks, I would do more cases with the chair. They don't, usually the interns don't do the cases with the chair unless they're like really, really simple cases. Mm-hmm. But these sports hernias are fairly simple to do. It's kind of like a regular hernia repair. But it's the abdominal wall muscle that's kind of torn off the pubic bone there, and sometimes it's torn off from itself, and you just repair the muscle and reattach it with some sutures right on like the pubic symphysis, on that pubic bone, the periosteum, the little line just that's right on the bone. And all that scar tissue just lets it kind of just sock down there and kind of keep it steady. But it takes at least 6 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks to recover from that. But it's a real quick, easy operation. And when I said I operated with him, he was training me. So, he would let us do the case. The residents do the case while he's watching, that kind of thing. So
right.
I did about probably 20 of them. And we did a bunch of MLB players and NHL because we were in the Boston area. He has since left, and I think he went to, of course, after I graduated, because then he couldn't live without me up there. He's since left and went to I don't even know if he does hepatobiliary anymore. He used to do liver, pancreas, all those big, huge operations, and he probably kind of settled into the hernia because those are nice and easy, quick ones, So, no, he went to Temple afterwards or somewhere in Philadelphia. I'm not sure where he is now, but the bottom line is that if this is what Terry has, he probably got it on that play that he should have had a touchdown on.
Yes, clearly.
If you think about it, he stretched himself out.
Yep.
And what you do when you stretch yourself out, and when someone pounces on you while you're stretching yourself out, what do you think that muscle does?
Yeah, you're being
you can tear something.
It's expanded or torn or strained or whatever.
Yeah. So what happened is what I'm surprised though is they're calling it a quad, which kind of the quad does enter the groin area, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. But if he's going to Bill Myers, then he's probably being assessed for an abdominal wall.
Right. Okay. So I said a hernia or
your external oblique.
Right. I said a hernia or a adductor. I didn't think of the abdominal wall. But that all makes sense. The abdominal wall is the adductor.
Okay. So the abdominal wall, you got the external oblique, you got the rectus abdominis, internal oblique. There's muscles that all go down to that groin, okay? So what happens is he's probably being assessed for that. If he doesn't have that, rest may do it. But if he does and he goes ahead and gets the surgery, you're talking about several weeks of out. And just as a side note, I think that's what Caitlin Clark has, and I think they're not saying it because they kept saying week by week, growing, and then, I'm out. I wonder if she ended up having surgery, and I'm also wondering if Curtis Samuel, you remember how Curtis Samuel had a growing injury when Ron first brought him from Carolina Panthers?
Yes.
And then he slipped up weeks later and said after his surgery, and I was like, what? Yep. What surgery? I bet you that's what, because this is not uncommon. But to answer the question, was him holding out cause this injury? I say yes and no, but it's for a different reason. I think it caused the injury because he wanted to prove so much how worth he is. He wanted to get that touchdown so much that he literally just stretched out. He just wanted it so badly, and that's probably what kind of ripped the muscle a little bit. And it's kind of ironic because the very reason The uppers didn't want to really pay him big money because they don't feel like he has that breakaway speed. Ironically, if he had the breakaway speed, he wouldn't have had the dive like he had to. Make sense? So it all comes together. But I don't think it was because his muscles weren't stretched out enough. I think it was just because he wanted it so badly.
Very interesting. Thank you, Doc. As always, appreciate the insight and analysis and expertise. Even though you haven't examined Terry McLaurin, I will take it as the best I'm going to get, and I value your opinion and your analysis. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That is Dr. Sabah. I guess it's not Williams Myers, but she once worked with Dr. William Myers.
Billy
Myers.
Little Bill.
Little Bill. She once worked with him. So, again, she qualifies as at least an educated expert in this area. And she just explained it all. If you missed it, go back, hit the Odyssey Rewind. I don't know how interested you guys are in the exact medical terminology, but as we said yesterday, right? We said, as soon as I saw he was seeking a second opinion, that was not because he got good news. Okay? And everybody scoffed at me. Wow, you don't know. You're not a doctor. Let me surgically unattach my pop-ups.
So DQ did say that, like, getting a second opinion isn't unusual.
Well,
it kind of like downplayed the injury.
Yeah, isn't unusual. Yes, we know it's not unusual. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's not because you got good news, is my point.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you did get good news, and then you're like, oh, man, this thing still really freaking hurts. It's swollen like a whatever. You don't do that for no reason. Of course it was bad news. How bad? We don't know. Again, I mentioned at the start of the show, quad, right? Quad muscle goes from essentially, like Doc said, your groin area. She used the pubic bone, right? Okay, because that's the bone in there.
Chris
right?
Russell is currently showing me his thigh for the audience. He has his leg stretched out, and he is showing
I am not
me
showing
his
you.
thigh.
I am not exactly showing you leg.
Listen.
You don't want to see that, okay? But what I'm saying is the quad muscle is a big freaking muscle. It's not like a little thing. It's not it's not a tiny little area. So if it was upper, I think that's worse than lower because of everything that Doc just gave us. Adductor, abdominal, groin, hernia. It could be a number of anything. But she said she doesn't believe. If I understood exactly what she was saying, she doesn't believe the two are connected. Do you? I don't believe they were connected.